Well, hello again, guys. One of the last videos of the year, possibly the last one, I'm going to go over the cosine law to find a missing angle a little bit differently than the video. The video is the way I learned it. Hi, by the way. Long hair, crazy. But there is another way to do it that I actually think I like a little bit better. And you can either understand the algebra or you can just memorize a different formula. Either way, we're going to do the cosine law to find a missing angle, just in a little bit of a different way than the Math Whiz site showed. If you hear weird noises again, it is my dog snoring in the background. So here's a really great question. It incorporates a lot of different ideas, which I like you to think about all in one. So a triangle has side lengths. They are 12 meters, 17 meters, and 20 meters. So I'm not going to give you the diagram, I'm just going to tell you about it. We are going to find the size of the largest angle, and then we are going to solve the triangle. Which means, if you hadn't figured out, to solve a triangle means that you find all the missing side lengths and angles that are in the triangle. Now this is the hardest type of question, I would say, for algebra. It's the easiest one to identify, but probably the last one you want to actually do. And it's really easy to identify because you're going to get three side lengths and absolutely no angles at all, and I'm not going to tell you that it's a right triangle. So if you have a 12 meter, a 17 meter, and a 20 meter length, and you have to draw the diagram, I suggest you try and make them somewhat to scale. So, you know, have your longest side, here we go, and then maybe a slightly shorter side, and then your last side here. Okay, so it doesn't have to be perfect. I mean, if you really wanted to, I suppose you could use a ruler and you could draw it out. Now, in this case, can you tell me which of these three angles is going to be the largest angle? Hopefully, I mean, if you've drawn it to scale, you can see it, but if not, I want you to understand that the longest side is going to have the largest angle across from it. So that's the angle that we want to find in this case. All right, so I'm going to set this up so that this is angle A, and it does not matter, but we can call this B and C. It could have been B and C the other way around. If we were to set this up to find the missing angle, what we would do is we would say that A squared, so A is going to be, I can put this in a different color again. Let's go with some green. This is your A, because it's across from angle A. This is your B, and this is your C. Okay, so A squared equals B squared plus C squared minus 2 times B times C, and I'm going to put times the cos of angle A, because if I don't, it looks really weird having two C's side by side. Now, what the video did is it subbed in the numbers at this point, and then it rearranged it. And it totally works, okay? But in order to get less work, I guess, to show less work, if you wanted to, what someone has done is they've rearranged this equation to get this part, and again, I will try and grab different color. Where is mine? Okay, this is what we want to get all by itself. So instead of putting the numbers in and then rearranging, I'm going to rearrange the formula. So if we've got a positive C squared and a positive B squared and C squared, I'm going to take those away. I'm going to subtract B squared and subtract C squared. So my next line would be A squared minus B squared minus C squared equals, okay, so this is moved, negative 2BC times the cos of angle A. All right, so we now have, here it is here. Now I'll put the equal signs maybe so you can see them really well. So now we've gotten rid of the B squared plus C squared. It's over to the left side of the equals. We have to divide, because we're multiplying these, we're going to divide both sides by negative 2BC. So that means A squared minus B squared minus C squared divided by negative 2BC is equal to the cos of angle A. So what this allows us to do is now we can just sub in our values here, hit shift cos, and you don't have to do all of the rearranging with the numbers. So I'll do that. Now, I like this because I don't have to memorize this. This to me makes sense. I know how to move things around. There is a formula out there that they've made really nice and pretty. They've multiplied the top and the bottom by a negative, and it's b squared plus c squared minus a squared all over 2bc is the cos of A. Again, it's the same formula. They're just making it look pretty. So if we were to use this, and I'm just making sure, yes, this is all actually on the video. If we were to use this, we would have to sub in, and of course I have run out of paper. So I'm going to do this. We would have to sub in the values into this. So I don't know which one you want to use, if you want to use the one that I think you derived by yourself, or you want to use the pretty one. I'm going to do this. Ooh. Make sure I've got math on there already. Can we see that? Yeah, we can. Okay, so if I was going to do this then, all right, let's say I used this formula, it would be 20 squared minus 17 squared minus 12 squared, all divided by negative 2 times b times c. Okay, so this is, you put that all in your calculator, and then you would hit shift cos to get the actual angle. This gives you a decimal. And I believe I have this in my calculator, if I can turn it on. Yes. If you actually do this, this decimal comes out to be 0.080883, blah, 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 blah. And then if you hit shift cos, you get an actual answer of 85, and it's 0.3 degrees. But with degrees, remember, we don't put decimals. So this is 85 degrees. Yay! All right. Now, I'm finding licorice and sweet tarts all over that I guess I hid when I was doing report card comments. Okay, so that is really what you need to know. Now, to solve the triangle, what I want to get across now is once we know an angle, you never want to use the cosine law twice, okay? Once we know an angle, we have the side and we have the angle across from it. You're going to use the sine law to find the missing information, okay? It's going to help you find the last angle. So I'm going to get this down again. So it was 20. Go over here again. So we had 20, we had 12, we had 17, and we realized that this was 85 degrees. All right, so this is, we have found the largest angle. Now you are going to set up the sine law. And again, it was A, B, C. So basically, I'm going to say 20 over the sine of 85 degrees is going to equal 17 over the sine of B equals 12 over the sine of C. And you're going to basically use your sine law to find the missing angles. Or, and I like to just do it all with the sine law. You could find the angle B or C, and then you could just subtract from 180 to find the difference. I find my calculator. I am absent-minded here. Here it is. I'm going to actually do this. So I'm going to do cross multiplication. So 17 times the sine of 85. And we're in degrees mode here, okay? Divided by 20 equals shift sine of the answer. I get angle B is 58 degrees because I've rounded. And so so that's 58 up there. Now you can just subtract 180 minus 85 minus 58. and you get this one is 37 degrees. Again, I could also use 12 times the sine of 85 equals divided by 20 and then hit second sign. And yes, I get the exact same answer of 37 degrees. Awesome.